And we are ready now to put COVID-19 behind us. Of course, that's how we feel, but there's still a way to go yet. 3 weeks ago, we announced the map to getting us back to a place where we could be together. Our plan was based on not just dates, but also on data. And we're moving forward confidently based on the numbers when it's safe to do so. That was what we said 3 weeks ago, and that's what we're here to announce today. Dr. Bonnie Henry's modeling shows that we're on the right path. Case counts are declining, hospitalizations are stabilizing, and vaccines are climbing at a positive rate. What we need to do now is take the next careful steps forward. Tomorrow, we will begin step 2 of our restart plan. This means we're going to be seeing more people that we care about, visiting more places that we want to go and see, and we'll be safely celebrating the major milestones that we've missed over the past 15 months. Step 2 ends the current travel restrictions in British Columbia. However, we are advising against non-essential travel from out of province. We want that to remain in place as we watch what other provinces across the country do as they start their restart plans as well. Step 2 means being able to host a birthday party with up to 50 people in your backyard or in a public outdoor space. It means that it will be safe to go to a movie with some friends. Or more importantly, we'll be able to do what we haven't been able to do for the past year, and that is watch our local sports teams in action. And that I'm very much looking forward to. Several fundamental layers of protection will remain in place through step 2. You're still going to have to wear a mask in indoor public spaces, and current safety measures and protocols for businesses will remain in place until we move to phase 3. Personal gatherings inside your home should still remain small for now. And we need to make sure we stick to 1 household or 5 people. Now, we've come a long way together over the past 15 months. We've had some ups and we've had some downs. There have been some bumps along the way, to be sure, and many, many people have made extraordinary sacrifices. But I want to be clear. We want to put the pandemic behind us, but we want to make sure we take those tentative steps in a way that brings everybody along. British Columbians are anxious to put COVID behind us, but there are still people that are anxious about reopening. They're concerned about the impact of too fast a return to normal and how that might affect their family, their business, or their community. We believe we're on the right track. We've been following the data, we've been following the science from the beginning. That's why British Columbia has had such great success. But as we go forward, we need to remember that you need to get vaccinated. We need to remember that we have to follow public health orders until it's safe to put them behind us. And most importantly, when we reduce our social interactions, we reduce case counts. We reduce the transmissibility of COVID-19. We're on track to meet all of our milestones through the restart plan. I know many people are excited about that, and I understand those that are anxious. But together, we can get to a place where British Columbia can lead the country in economic revival, can continue to be a place where we don't just flick a switch, but we slowly turn the dial back to a normal place for all of us to be as the summer progresses. I know that all of you are anxious to hear from Dr. Henry about the events of the past number of days. As we've seen numbers drop, as we've seen the case counts reduced, hospitalizations reduced, and Minister Dix, I'm sure, will talk about the largest vaccination program in BC history, which is just going gangbusters. I'm very excited about that. British Columbians should be as well. So with that, I'll invite Dr. Henry to the microphone to continue with some of the more detailed aspects of moving to step 2.
Thank you very much, Premier, and good morning. In May, we outlined a 4-step restart plan, our Restart 2.0, and said then a slow and gradual approach will be taken. This remains the case. We have built in a 2-week, in this case, window time or lag between stages that allows us to monitor our progress and ensure we're able to confidently move forward safely. Our progress so far, like the entire pandemic, is a shared effort between public health, between businesses, between every individual here in British Columbia. We can all be proud of what we have achieved over the last few weeks. As I shared late last week, the data shows us that we are in a good position right now. Hospitalizations, outbreaks, clusters, cases in our community are all down. And the minimum threshold that we had set for step 2, 65% of adults 18 and over being immunized, has been more than met. We exceeded 75%, which gives us that confidence that we can move forward now. We will continue to monitor through the next incubation period before moving to the next stage. As we said, this step is step 1. This step is 1 incubation period of 14 days, so we will be continuing to watch carefully. We will expect to have continued progress, moving back where we can get more of our social connections back together. So let me walk through what is changing and what remains the same for step 2. I'll go through the orders as of tomorrow. The order on gatherings and events will be amended to allow for indoor personal gatherings of up to 50 people. Outdoor personal gatherings of up to 50 people. These are the people that we know, that we are close to. So we know the risk. We know if they've been immunized, and we know that it's safer outdoors versus indoors. But we will also be increasing the indoor seated gatherings, organized gatherings, up to 50 people as well. This means places like movie theaters, live theater, banquet halls can now safely reopen with COVID safety plans in place. And we can have events of up to 50 people in restaurants. So this is very similar to what we had in place last summer. Indoor faith gatherings will also be increasing with a minimum of 50 people, or for a larger place of worship, 10% of that total capacity, whichever number is greater. This means if your location has a capacity for 1,000 people, you could have up to 100 people now in an indoor worship service. The outdoor number remains the same for organized gatherings, but you no longer have to be seated, so it has more flexibility to have a small wedding outside, for example. This is a transition phase from step 2 to step 3. When it comes to sports, as the Premier's mentioned, we now can have spectators at outdoor sports, so you can go watch your child's soccer game or baseball game, as I know many, many families have been looking forward to doing. Indoor sports and high-intensity fitness can now also resume with COVID safety plans in place. In terms of the food and liquor service premises order, it's now amended to allow for liquor service in restaurants, bars, and pubs to be extended until 12 a.m. midnight. And as the Premier noted, the Solicitor General has also lifted the non-essential travel ban for travel within the province. And this means we can go visit family or friends across BC and stay for a while and visit in those communities. All other restrictions at events and gatherings in restaurants and workplaces remain in place right now, and we will be working over the next few weeks to transition in those areas as well. But this means indoor personal gatherings in your home remain small, up to 5 people or 1 other household. We need to continue with our safety plans in workplaces, for events, organized gatherings, and masks continue to be important and mandatory in indoor public places. Physical distancing and giving others space is also still required. We need to recognize that not everybody is at the same place right now, and we need to respect their ability to stay away from others right now. Staying home and getting tested if you are sick is incredibly important. And while new cases are much lower, we still do have transmission in our communities, and public health will be working with you with every single case to stop transmission as it happens. As well, for workplaces, public health is working with WorkSafe BC, and we're going to be transitioning from those COVID safety plans that we've been relying on to providing guidance for employers for communicable disease safety plans that you can use to develop site-specific plans as we move away from the need to focus on COVID-19 alone. And these will be ready before we move to the next phase, hopefully on July 1st. With our strong safety plans in place and all of us continuing to use our layers of protection, we can now increase our much-needed connections a little bit more. This is a shared effort. This means respecting that those around you may not be moving at the same pace as you, that some people in some communities may not yet be ready to receive visitors or to have gatherings. So check before you go, and that's okay. As we continue to open up, we need to be respectful of people and communities with different comfort levels and different risk levels. And we must also be patient with workers and businesses who are working hard to reopen slowly and safely for everyone. With kindness, compassion, diligence, and commitment, we continue to make great strides here in BC, and I am absolutely optimistic about our brighter days ahead. And I want to thank you for all the work that everyone in BC has been doing to get us there. This will be our summer of hope and healing from this pandemic, and we can make the difference in getting there together. And I'd now like to turn it over to Minister Mark.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bonnie Henry. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm sending greetings from the traditional territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations. And it is such a pleasure to be here today for this exciting step forward in our province's restart. Our tourism, arts, and amateur sports sectors were among the hardest hit by the pandemic. The people working in these industries have been profoundly impacted by more than a year of ongoing restrictions and closures. Despite the many hardships, business owners, workers, and volunteers have been unwavering in their commitment to protect each other and our communities. Without question, their sacrifices made a difference and helped us to get to where we are today. To move into step 2 allows people to travel throughout BC, visit a theatre and watch their kids and other athletes play sports. As we approach June 21st, which is National Indigenous Day and the first day of summer, I encourage all British Columbians to get out and explore the best of BC. Whether your summer plans include heading out on a vacation, taking in an outdoor performance, or cheering on your kids at their tournaments, there is so much to see and do in our province. Destination BC has just launched their Be Open to More summer marketing campaign, which has tremendous suggestions on where and how to explore everything BC has to offer. Check out Hello BC to plan your trip today. And their Know Before You Go guide, which helps visitors ensure the communities they visit are ready to welcome them. While it may take time to get back to where we were, our collective efforts to support BC this summer have never been more important. And we are doing everything we can to ensure BC is safe. Many staff at tourism businesses have taken the recently Be Safe program. This Made in BC safety certificate demonstrates that workers in tourism and hospitality businesses have received training in health and safety best practices and are prioritizing the health of their customers and community. Be Safe shows visitors that BC is a safe place to travel and encourages people to experience new adventures and connect with their province in a different way this summer. I know we're all looking forward to getaways, gatherings, and time to recharge. Whether it's watching your kids play sports outside, going to the theatre, or traveling to new and exciting destinations across BC, we can finally get out and support each other, people, jobs, and our economy. I want to express my appreciation and Niska Tuksiasm to everyone working so hard in the people industries. People, we know that you have made the sacrifices and efforts, and it's made a difference. I want to assure business owners and workers that our province will continue to be a destination of choice. Again, whether your plans include relaxing at the spa, taking in a local show, enjoying authentic Indigenous cuisine, using a postponed holiday booking, or whale watching on our beautiful waters, the best way we can show our love for BC and tourism businesses is to get out and eat, play, shop, stay. Really, the best thing we can do is plan a week-long getaway instead of a weekend. I want to thank the Tourism Advisory Table, the Industry Engagement Table, and everyone in the arts and sports sector for all of your advice to help us get to this really important milestone. Tuksiasm, and now I'd like to introduce my colleague, Minister Calon.
Thank you, Minister Mark, and good afternoon. I'm Ravi Kalon, Minister for Jobs, Economic Recovery and Innovation, and I'm pleased to be able to join today for this exciting milestone. Just 3 short weeks ago, we entered step 1. Immediately, you could feel the optimism in communities throughout the province. Many tourism operators, restaurant owners, people in the hospitality sector said the restart plan was welcome news. People were able to get together with friends and family. They were able to travel within their region or visit a local park and have a barbecue. The launch of the restart plan signaled that we can soon do more of the things we love to do with the people we care about. As we enter step 2, we will be able to travel throughout BC. We can hold outdoor personal gatherings up to 50 people. Live theater, movie theaters will also be open with the same capacity limits, and employees can return to work or hold in-person meetings. These are just a few of the new things that we can do with proper safety plans in place. This is great news for BC businesses, but we still know that some businesses are struggling, and we'll continue to support them through this economic recovery. We have made $500 million available in direct relief for small businesses, and we extended the deadline for the small and medium-sized business recovery grant application to July 2nd. We want to ensure that businesses are heard and supported as we move into the next steps of the restart plan. We have been engaging with business community on step 2 and will continue to do that for step 3. Their input has been critical as we work together to gradually reopen the province safely and carefully. Over the last 16 months, we have seen businesses innovate and adapt. They have quickly adjusted their operations multiple times over. This pandemic continues to show us there are lessons to be learned. It has shown us that we need to do more to be economically resilient in times of uncertainty. And has shown us that we need to do more to continue to help businesses adapt to the changing markets and conditions. This work is something I'm incredibly passionate about, and is something that we will be focused on as we build a stronger BC. We are well on our way. We have recovered 99% of our pre-pandemic employment jobs, and our economy is projected to have strong growth as we recover. But together, there is so much more to do. As we begin to venture out more, I encourage you to visit your local businesses. Shop local. Buy BC. We have, whether it's lunch with a few friends at your favorite local restaurant, or go to a spin class that you've been waiting for a while. Every dollar you spend at BC businesses helps our economy recover and supports workers and families. Together, we will build a brighter future with a strong, sustainable economy for everyone. I would now like to invite up Minister Dix to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Mr. Callon, Premier, Dr. Henry. Obviously, today is a good day. 3 weeks ago, on May the 25th, we said that we were moving to step 1, and changes were made. And it was required that we follow the data. And what has happened since then? Well, first of all, a lot of people got vaccinated. This extraordinary public health effort that's involved volunteers, communities, other workers, and mostly doctors and nurses and health sciences professionals, ambulance paramedics and firefighters, and many more who have been involved in this effort. Over 4 million immunizations across British Columbia since the beginning of the campaign. 3.4 million, more than 3.4 million first doses, more than 600,000 second doses. In the past week, the week ending on Saturday, 408,724 doses in a week. And again, at the end of this week, we will have used the vaccine we have. It's an extraordinary organization, and I'm so grateful to everyone involved and to British Columbians who have come and get vaccinated. Secondly, we said that this was going to be a step-by-step process, and it is, that we weren't going to make further changes until this week, and we haven't. We've gone step by step. We've followed the evidence. We've seen the decline in hospitalization, the decline in people in critical care, the decline in case counts, and the increase in levels of vaccination. This needs to continue to be our path. Over the next couple of weeks, that means two things. One, those who have not been vaccinated need to register and get their dose of COVID-19 vaccine. It is critically important that we continue to do so, that we continue to register, and that's 1-833-838-2323 or online at our Get Vaccinated website. It is critical that we continue the momentum. And secondly, that we take a step-by-step approach to the easing of restrictions, and that is precisely what Dr. Henry has presented today, that we continue to care for one another, continue to be safe. It is this step-by-step approach, prudent, serious, gradual, that will lead to success. And that is what we promised on May the 25th, what we've all done together to achieve in the intervening period, and we must continue to work on now. I want to thank everyone in British Columbia for their involvement in this, because this has truly been a team effort. Today's achievement has been created by each of us and is shared by all of us, and its message is clear. Continuing to work together will bring us all back together and will define the future that remains ours to build. Thank you very much, and I'm honored to introduce the Premier to take questions.
Thank you, Adrian, Melanie, Ravi, and Dr. Henry. It is truly a very exciting day for all British Columbians. And as Minister Dick said, we all did this together. And we all have to keep on the same track if we're going to get to stage 3 or step 3 by Canada Day. And I'm confident that if British Columbians follow the guidelines, British Columbians register for vaccines, we'll be good to go. But let's take it a step at a time. As Dr. Henry has advised us repeatedly, the incubation period is critically important, and we need to monitor over the next couple of weeks how these new steps are affecting our public health outcomes, and we're going to do that faithfully and diligently, and I believe that's what British Columbians want to see. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions you may have.